What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Well, I'm gonna do a little comparison for you guys. Today's video, you guys have been asking me, Eddie, you haven't driven your truck. Some of you guys DM me, what's going on with the farm truck? You know, how's the ranch truck? Well, you're right. Haven't really driven it. It's parked just on the other side of the garage, but I will say I did drive it a couple days, and a huge difference, massive difference to me compared to the 19 Ram over here. Now, this, for you guys that's new to the channel, this is a 2019 Ram 3500. It did, let me try to speak on this again. It did come with the 373 gear ratios and the Aisin transmission. You guys know I am not a fan of this transmission at all. It's very lazy. It doesn't know like what gear it wants to be in. It picks up and moves very slow, I should say that. Now, not saying it's a bad transmission. Everybody says these things are bulletproof. They're good transmissions. They're made for pulling, for towing. You know, they're made to work. So let's go. I'm going to show you a little comparison. Let's go to the 2500 with the 68 RFE and not the Aisin, and give you guys a little comparison. And if you're wondering, it's on the other side of this garage. That's where I keep it. And if you're wondering where the ding ding is, well, I'll let you know. Stay tuned. We're doing some good stuff for her, just adding some goodies on it, and some things that I'll let you guys know. To me, it's pretty important. But so usually I park it, there's another road going down that way, but it's just been sitting here, parked here, mainly, well, because in the morning this garage sort of blocks it, so it doesn't really stay in the sun. But I will be putting in this garage once they get all the dirt and everything in it. But now, so the comparison I'm going to do for this thing, it's a 2000, this one is an 18 Ram 2500 with the 68 RFE transmission, and this has the 342 gear ratio stock from the factory. And well, let's go for a test drive, and I'll tell you guys, you know, a real test drive, and I'll tell you guys what I think of it, because I haven't really driven this thing. I literally took it to, I don't know, Starbucks over here, but haven't really driven the truck. It's just been sitting here the whole time. And if you guys remember, we got Farmer Brown, Hillbilly Brown, you know, whatever you guys want to call the color of this thing. So let's start her on up. Ooh, I will say one thing, guys. This 18 is a lot louder, and not saying like obnoxiously loud, but you can tell, you can hear more of like the diesel. Like this sounds more of like a diesel, like a Cummins. Mine, the motor sounds very quiet. Like, you know, like once it's warm, it's not a loud, you know, truck. Not saying this is loud, but you will hear there is a sound difference, especially like when this thing's cold. Man, you can hear this thing clunking. But guys, option wise, you know, same thing. It doesn't have the 360 camera on this thing, but I mean, you know, I don't really use that whole 360 BS. For me, I just need the reverse camera, honestly, and the front camera. I will admit the front camera is awesome on this thing. All right, guys, so we're gonna go for a little test drive now over here. Now, I will say the first thing I notice is this thing, and it might sound crazy, but believe it or not, you can hear it right here. Listen to this. That clunk right there, I don't have that in my 3500. The back end of my 3500, this, like, honestly, my 3500 rides smoother than this 2500. But I can't, you know, really compare, because the 3500 has a Carly lift on it. Okay, guys, so watch this thing when it shifts. Look at this. Like, you don't even feel the shifts. Like, this 68 RFE shifts so much smoother than my 3500. That Aisin transmission is like, then you got the shift flare, and then it'll go in a second, then the torque converter will lock. Like, this thing actually shifts 10 times better. Like, if I was never gonna tow anything, I mean, even just to get up and go, and I'm not even gonna accelerate fast, but look at this. There's no, watch, zero shift flare right there, zero. Like, this truck feels like it will smoke my 3500 just because the way this transmission shifts. It shifts 100 times better than that Aisin transmission. Now, I have not pulled anything. Actually, you know what? I second that. I think I have pulled with a 2500, yeah, 68 RFE. And now pulling wise, this thing was a dog. I think if you guys go back in my video, I'll try to find it. It was a 2500 Ram with the 68 RFE, and it felt like it had no power. And I don't know if that's because, you know, the horsepower torque. I don't know if it's because the 342 gear ratio, but I do know when I pulled with a 3500 with the 410s, this thing, you know, pulled like a monster, or the one with the 410s pulled like incredible. So here's a little stretch. Now, I'm not gonna punch it, but look, watch the transmission. Watch this. I mean, I know you guys can't feel that, but I can still feel it continuing to pull. Zero shift flare whatsoever in this truck. So what I would do, guys, and you know, I hear a lot of bad things about this transmission, about this 68 RFE, how these things don't last, or they come apart at 30,000 miles. You know, then I hear from some people that, you know what, Eddie, I've got a 68 RFE and you got 200,000 miles on the original transmission. So I don't know, guys. Comment down below. Let me know, you know, if you guys that are watching this have a 68 RFE, and tell me your thoughts. But if you guys are going to tow heavy and you're looking for more of a daily driver, I personally, if I were to get another truck, another Ram, I would get a 68 RFE just because of how much better this transmission shifts than my 3500. There's no shift flare, no hesitation. There is no like, oh, let me figure out what gear I want to be in. There's no clunking. You know, I can drive this and it doesn't feel like there's a sledgehammer that has just smashed me in the back of my truck. Now here's a little hill, guys, right here. Nothing crazy, but I'm gonna accelerate. Look at it. Instant shifts, pulls, continues to pull. No shift flare whatsoever. That is what I love about this truck. So for you guys watching, if you're wondering, you know, what should you get, 25, 35, guys? You know, I only went with the 35 because I wanted the high output motor. That's what my main thing is. I wanted that more horsepower. I wanted that more torque. I sure as hell now do not want that transmission. You know, I heard, and I don't even know if you can get a 3500 high output with a 68 RFE, but if you could, guys, I don't know. I mean, someone out there that's got more experience than me, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, guys, I'm completely stopped. I'm in first gear, and I'm going to show you my first gear. It will shift flare to a point where it's so bad, it will feel like the truck just went into neutral. Look at this. I mean, you didn't even see it drop. The transmission just stayed up in the numbers. Look at this. I mean, this thing feels like it'll smoke my truck. Nothing. Look at that. I love it, guys. I like it. Now, what I want to do, though, is with this truck, I noticed the torque. So, right now, here, let me actually, I'm going to go, let me do this for you guys so I can see what gear it's in. 1 second here. So, we're going to head into, push this. It's in 5th. And I don't think it'll go into 6th, actually. Yeah, probably won't go in. So my truck feels like, though, it has more torque down low, which it does. I mean, it's over, you know, comes stock with 1,000 foot-pounds of torque. And, you know, I got some stuff on there, you know, some DPF back shenanigans. And this thing, I think, is only 800, or I believe, foot-pounds of torque. So obviously my truck is going to feel more torqueier down low. You know, this thing, I've drove it. It feels, when you're just cruising like this, very slow, like it's got no torque down low. But again, you know, the truck's got some stuff on it. Now, what I'm thinking about doing to this thing is re-gearing it and going to add a chip out of tuner. We're gonna pretty much banks this whole truck out. So I'm gonna get a lot of goodies for this. Only reason is because I know this truck has, you know, potential. And I'm not saying this thing is just slow, it's a dog, but I know this thing has potential to get up and go. Because when I did tow with the 2500 before, I just remembered, and I checked back on my phone, I did tow with one, and the thing just towed horrible. And it's sort of like my truck right now. I put 37s on my truck, when my truck had 373 gear ratios. Now I'm down to like a 339 or something, and I don't like the way mine pulls. The 4th gear is too much, and the 5th gear is not enough. So that's sort of this situation. This truck, I believe, the guy that had it put a little bigger tires, not too big, but put a little bigger tires. And same thing, this thing is stuck in, 4th gear, where I think if I put a little, Banks power in this and put some 430s in it, this truck will be a monster. Now, cab noise with, no radio on, just driving, I can hear the motor, not the exhaust, the motor a lot more than I can in my 19 Ram. And now I know the 19s are quieter, and it feels like my 19 also inside, I don't hear as much road noise. It's, it's a lot quieter than this one. Now I know they said they added like active noise canceling to my 19, so I would expect it to be a lot quieter than this one. But I mean, if you guys are looking for a truck, 17, 18, this thing, and no, that doesn't mean I'm selling it. I'm still keeping it, but I'm saying if you guys were to get a 17, 18, or even a 16, this thing, these things are awesome. They run great. I love the interior of this truck. Even if comparing it to my Duramax, that I had, I honestly think the interior on this, it looks a little better. I do like how in the display I get more options also than the interior, or than the Duramax. See, you guys can hear it's a little louder, but not much, nothing, nothing too crazy. Still a very quiet truck. And yes, we got light out, folks. I put some HIDs in this thing because I wanted brighter lights, and well, that's what I got right there. All right, guys, we're swapping out the light here. We got Spence here helping me out. But what do you guys think about my new handy dandy Napa light? What do you think? Pretty nice. And Spence, guys, if you got a truck for sale, he's looking for a truck. He needs a truck. He has a Mustang, old Blackie, he calls it, and he's looking for a truck. So let him know. He's looking. He lives in Alpine. He's alpining. He's the neighbor. He lives right up that hill right there. But we got this light fixed. It's all done now. We had a bad HID. It just took a crap on us. I don't know why. I don't know what happened, but old ranch truck, got to get her fixed. And then we have cut all the scrap. You guys saw my Instagram story. You're like, Eddie, what is that? That's the plasma cutter right there, guys. You just take it, whoosh, whoosh, cut it all, and that's it. Saves you a lot of time from sitting and grinding everything off. Bam, guys. Lights are fixed and good to go. Well, there you have it, guys. So that's, my biggest, I don't know, you can say my pet peeve or my opinion with that Ram, the 2500, or the 3500, I should say, is the transmission. If you guys, are looking for a daily driver, I don't know. I like the way that 2500 shifts. I gotta admit that. But I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Comment down below. But that's all I got for you guys today. If you guys like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and click subscribe. Peace.
Yeah.